Welcome to Showbiz Eats. This is a show where we talk about food, all types of food, primarily barbecue food. Here's the bottom line. We're not experts at anything, but we have a lot of life experiences that we'd like to share with you so that you don't ruin your event. You will not ruin it if you listen to us. If you go rogue, you will listen to us. Because you're going to find out when you go rogue, you did something wrong. But let's talk about something that people don't quite understand. A lot of guys, women, they're all right at cooking food for their families. That's all right. They're all right at cooking foods for their friends, especially the drunk ones. Here's where we have a problem at. If you want a nice event, you cater it, and you don't have your backyard grillers come over to cook food for people you want to impress. You just can't do it. And see, you got some people who think, if I cook for my family, I must be a good cook. No. Your family loves you and will eat anything you put in front of them, especially young kids whose taste buds has not developed yet. So here's the bottom line. You got trained chefs, people who've had classes, who have had health classes, and health classes is just as important as cooking classes because you want to know how to handle the meat. You want to know how to handle the size. You got to cook it to a certain temperature. You need somebody who knows all that. These backyard cookers, they go out there, they throw a hot dog on the grill, a hamburger on the grill. They eyeball it and say, you know what? It's got a little red in the middle, but he'll be all right. No, when you get a trained chef, he knows there are certain temperatures that the FDA says food must be cooked to in order to be edible without getting sick. Now, you can eat anything you want to eat. That's on you and your body. But you can't have somebody who's cooking their first brisket or second brisket for people you want to impress. It's kind of like if you go to a Ruth Chris and you buy a ribeye for $60, you don't want someone coming out there telling you, hey, sir, this is a ribeye. This is my second time cooking it. Eat it. Good luck. It should be good. When you got a guy who's cooked 1,000 steaks, ribeyes in the kitchen, who's the head chef, I want that guy. I don't want the second best guy or third best guy because I'm not paying the second best price or the third best price. I'm paying the best price. And that's what I want to eat. And some people get offended because, see, people get catering and potluck mixed up. They really do. It's a huge difference. Caterers have standards that they've been trained, or at least they should have been trained, to meet. Potluck, you make it. If they eat it, they do. If they don't, they don't. If the food isn't perfect and it's potluck, oh well. Caterers, if you get sick because of my food, I could be in trouble. So you got more on the line than just your backyard griller. And see, the backyard grillers get offended. My friends like it. Yeah, well, he was drunk. You don't have a thermometer. You only got one knife in your whole kitchen, and that's an axe. No, that's not how you do food. No. And then I see people touch all the food with their hands. They touch the ribs, raw meat with their hands, and then they take the same hand that they have been scratching their face with all day, and they go and they touch the beef. And the fingernails are 3 inches long. And they don't see anything with that being wrong at all. A caterer knows I am not going to do this. But, you get people and they're like, well, I want to help. When you got a cater event, the caterer don't need any help. The help he need is for you to stay out the hell of the way. Just stay out of his way. Let him do his job. Some people say, hey, if I get it catered, I'll get the beans and the slaw. You might save money doing that. But here's the problem. When you cater an event and people who are not part of the catering company, when they bring food and someone gets sick, now you got to guess what meal got you sick and who provided that meal. Oh yeah, it happens all the time. I've seen it happen. It happens all the time. And that's where I have an issue at. If you get a caterer, something goes wrong, you know exactly who provided that meal. You know who provided everything of that meal, that caterer. But then you get potluck Paul over there, who's just, you got long hair, you got cats, you got dogs. He's cooking food for you. They're in the kitchen, they're on the counter. And then you see a dog here, and, he's like, well, it wasn't my dog. Well, you brought it in. Either your dog or the neighbor's dog left a hair in the food. So my whole thing is, when you hire a caterer, don't volunteer to do anything. Let the caterer do what the caterer do. That's just a simple fact. It's your house. But if you feel that you got to have total control, then provide your own food. Don't ask a caterer to come and help you. Provide your own food. But, you get these people, well, people say my queso is really, really good. And, they may say your queso is good. But do they meet the standards that I want them to meet? Probably not. And, nothing wrong with being helpful. Give the man some water while he's setting your food up in this heat. Do that, do those kind of things. And he will be appreciative. But when you come in there and you say, you bring the ribs, I'll bring the pulled chicken. You don't want 2 or 3 people in your kitchen at once. I found out in life, you get along better with everybody when one person has one task and they master that task. You get along better with everybody. You don't believe me? Ask your wife. Master that one task at a time. You don't need to be there and supervising him, helping him or her, and because you know what? You just in the way. You're just in the damn way. And that caterer is going to be polite because you're paying them to say, I think I got this. Take the hint and go do what you do best. Go drink a damn beer. But don't sit there and get upset because he or she do not want your help. And if you telling somebody, simply put, hey, here's the deal. I'm going to provide some of the foods. Caterers really don't like that. There's nothing that you can provide that they can't provide. If you're on a budget, don't hire a caterer. Do not hire a caterer. I'm not saying go give him a Bitcoin. I'm not saying anything like that. But if you're on a serious budget and the price is all that matters, you're not going to get quality. You're not going to get what you really desire. It's just not going to happen. But you got people who think that I can cook ribs better than the caterer can. And in some cases, maybe you can. But the one thing I can tell you for a fact, that caterer is not going to give you food that is not ready for consumption. It's not going to happen. Because if the presentation don't look good, that caterer should not be serving it to you. And if you got a caterer that's cooking food live in front of you and he don't have a thermometer to measure the internal temperature of the food he's cooking, you're making a big mistake. You're making a major mistake. Do not have that caterer eyeballing when food is done. And don't have a caterer who is going to serve you all black food. It's burnt. No. A little black ain't going to kill you. But if you eating all black food, you got a problem. Imagine serving your family dinner and all the food's brown. What would you think? Now, some people love gravy. Nothing wrong with that. But gravy should only be put on certain things. Rice, potatoes, mashed potatoes. Not on the ribs. And the other thing too. People sit there and they want to provide food for you on the side. And you know what bothers me the most? They want to do all that. But at the end of the day, you really don't want any of that. You do not want someone seasoning your food, You don't know how they season it. And me personally, I do not want you to put barbecue sauce on any of my food. I'm not a big barbecue sauce person. I do like barbecue sauce, but let me put on how much I think I want to eat and taste of the barbecue. Because what you don't understand is that it's a simple fix. The most expensive food on the table should be in its barest form. In other words, if you go buy a steak for $12 a pound and you want to just drench it in A1 sauce, you're stupid. Because just buy a bottle of A1 sauce and drink it by itself. I want to taste that steak. That's what I paid for. That's what I expect. And that's what I want to taste. So it's not that difficult for you to say, Mr. Caterer, here goes your space. I'll see you later. If you need tables, you need anything, call me. Walk away. Don't be offended by the fact that they don't want your help. Because I'll be honest about it. Every time I cater an event, me and my partner, hosts want to help. We don't really want your help, but we don't know how to say it in a nice way without sounding rude. Because I would like to say, get the hell out of here and just let me do my job. But you can't say that to your customer. So you kindly says, I got this. No, I don't need none of this. After someone tells you no twice, maybe the answer is no. Maybe the answer is no. But people sit there and think, he said no twice. Third time is going to be lucky time. He's going to say yes. He is going to say yes. No. I'm saying no for the rest of every question you ask me. You just got to get the hint that no means no. So, as Showbiz Eats, we show up, we deliver, we bring hot food, we're handling hot food. By you being in the way, it's going to get somebody hurt by being the hot food. You're going to spill something. It's just not a good scenario. It's just not a good scenario. So by you being out of the way, I'm happy as hell, and hopefully you're happier, because I didn't come to you to cater your event so that you can work. Now, sometimes a caterer may say, hey, you want to help me take a bag out of the truck, a bag out of the car with food in it? That's all the help he really needs. As far as setting up, he don't need your help at all. He really don't need your help. She don't need your help. So don't offer to cook food in addition to the caterer's food. It's just not a good marriage. You know what I mean? It's just, there's nothing good for the caterer in that scenario. And like I said, if you want to brag to your friends and boast to your friends about how good your food is, or a dish you make that's excellent, invite them over on, say, a Tuesday. Nobody is really busy on Tuesday nights. So you bring them over on a Tuesday, and what you do is you try it out on them. And then if you have those exact same friends come over on Saturday and you got a catering event, you can put it out maybe in a different office or a different house or a different room, your stuff. But remember, when people get sick, they are not going to blame the caterer, even though they want to, because the caterer is going to say, maybe it was Ann Chipotle sauce. I didn't provide that. She did. Maybe that's what got you sick. That's how caterers think, because every caterer thinks it could not have been my food. And the only way to find out if that's true or not is to let the caterer provide all the food. Then if you get an outbreak of COVID from the food, we all know where it came from. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. There's nothing to wonder about. We all know. So you got to be smart about when you hire a caterer. And like I said, don't be on a shoestring budget. You can be, but it's not a good thing to do that. Let the caterer provide everything you need, including the forks, the knives. Let him provide everything, because he's probably getting everything at a discount that you're not getting, which I know I do. So just be a friendly, here goes your space. You need anything, call me. If he doesn't call you or she don't call you, they don't need anything. What they always need is for you to be out of the way. So saying that, This is Showbiz Eats. We want you to have a successful summer. Some of you already ruined your summers already. But we want you to have a successful summer. Get a caterer to do things that you can't do, but to be honest with yourself. If you've never been trained how to cook, then don't feed anybody outside of your family or your friends who really care about you. Because the caterer is there to impress, and by adding dishes that they did not create, they can't impress nobody, and they walk around fearful that somebody's going to get sick from something that you provided. This is Showbiz Eats out.